Welcome to Keep It Clean for Happier You. I'm your host, Nikki Tambulides. Together with my guests, we will help you reclaim your space at home. Yes, you can. We're here to help. Stay with us. I'm so happy you could join us today at Keep It Clean for Happier You. I'm your host, Nikki. What are we talking about? A very important topic for all of us, how to save money and reduce waste. We continue our conversation with Fred Miers, the owner of Simple Bottle Return, a 68,000 square feet facility at 1100 Boston Avenue in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Everybody is welcome with their returns. Welcome, Fred, and thank you for your time. So many questions, so little time. Let's start. I'm here with Fred Miers from Simple Bottle Return in a center in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Fred mentioned that in his facility, they have built their offices in the back of the facility so they can accommodate in the future possibly students from schools and teach them about recycling and how important it is through classes. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
It's a concept.
An idea which I find it...
We brought it to fruition through FCR, through an educational system. We called it the Garbage Museum. We invited class trips from the schools to come to our recycling facility, see the process actually being done through visual skywalks where they walked around the whole facility, brought into an amphitheater where we sat down and showed them videos on what's happening to the landfills, why landfills are bad, what is recyclable, why do we want to reuse material that we already have instead of buying brand new resin. Let's use what we already have, and then show them basically through a gift shop of different products that is made from recycled material. And that was a great experience that we had with multiple municipalities to bring their class trips to our students at a young age, where we can teach them from a young age what's the right thing to do. In our age, when we're 60 plus years old right now, we were a throwaway society. What we didn't want, we threw it in the garbage. It left our house. We didn't know where it went or what happened to it, and we didn't care. Because we didn't care is the reason why
we're in the shape that we are today.
Shape we are today. Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So now it's to the point where now everybody has to it has to be part of society's daily life.
Yes.
Is to consider, all right, what are we doing? What are we buying? How do we use this? And what do we do with it when we're done? Is it recyclable, or is it just throw away in a garbage? Can it be sent to a burn center to create new energy from that technology that we have today? What can we do? And that's what we are all about in today's society. We have a problem. How do we solve those problems?
And that's why I love this interview, and I love being here with you, because you're talking about solutions. I mean, yes, we know the problem, but a lot of people are like, oh, what are we going to do? We don't know what to do. I want to mention, I touched upon him briefly earlier. Dr. Roland Gayer, author of The Business of Less, The Role of Companies and Households on a Planet in Peril, is a professor of industrial ecology at Bryn School of Environmental Science in Santa Barbara. He points out that 8.3 billion metric tons of plastic has been produced so far. It can cover the size of Argentina, which happens to be the 8th largest country in the world. Writing in the Journal of Science Advances, Gayer notes plastic production has grown 8% a year for decades. He recommends exactly what Fred said, producing items with more than one use, and adds that only material that doesn't need disposal is the one we never made. Gayer was raised in Germany with the mantra, waste not, want not. But since I think our parents I come from Greece, and my parents were very economical, and I remember I was visiting, and my blow dryer stopped working, and I told my dad, go get me a new one, and my dad says, what are you talking about? In 1 hour, he gave me back, he went to fix it, and he brought it back to me. We need people to start fixing things instead of throwing it away and getting new ones. You're listening to Keep It Clean for Happier You podcast. To listen anytime, go to dirtdirtgoaway.com. Also, you can live stream online at radio1400.am every Saturday. We're talking to Fred Miers from Simple Bottle Return. Where does the throwaway...
The throwaway mentality today is they're making products so cheap now that they're almost designed to break. But trying to repair it,
point, yeah.
when you try to repair it, it's more costly to repair that than just
Than
throw
to
it
get a
away
new
and
one.
go buy a new one. Which
Yeah,
is,
yeah. And I'm guilty as charged because
And-
so often something breaks. I mean, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go find an electrician to fix my blow dryer here? They're going to laugh at me.
And it's part and parcel of why the trade wars that we're having right now, where we're buying stuff from, let's say, China. They're able to produce these products so much cheaper than we can manufacture them here in the United States. So why would we manufacture something for more money when we can buy it cheap from China? And then once it breaks, throw it away and buy it again.
But also in his book, Dr. Geyer talks about the alternatives. It's better not, instead of recycling, to use less as a society.
Use less.
Use less, buy less, and what you mentioned earlier, Fred, about packaging. When you have the packaging that includes so many layers and then they're all contaminated with something, you
Right.
cannot even dispose of them because
Correct.
this is how much you're going to recycle paper. This is how much you're going to recycle anything after there's no way you can go anywhere.
Take a look at cardboard. Cardboard's a great commodity to recycle, but put the wax on it, it becomes useless. Now you got a wax-covered cardboard that we cannot reuse again. So there are things that people who produce these products can rethink on how they're making it so that it can be reused multiple times instead of a one-use throwaway.
Yeah, but also in his book, he mentions that the economy is driven by consumers. So
Correct.
we can make the choice to go buy or not buy
True.
certain products. And he talks about a company called, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this company, it's out of California, it's called Patagonia, and they do clothing. And they had a big ad saying, our mission is to, initially their mission was to help the environment, yada, 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 and now their mission is to change, to make a change in the environment. The company to be the source of change, rather than saying, you know what, we want to help and say, you know, we're going to do one fabric. But now they want to actually be participants in the change.
We're talking about Patagonia?
Patagonia.
Patagonia. Okay.
They're doing clothing,
Right.
and they had an article in the New York Times with one of their jackets, and he mentioned his Dr. Geyer in his book, that they said, do not buy this jacket. Even in their company, they have consignment. Within the company, you can buy used clothes from their company, which you can say competes in a way.
It's like a thrift store.
Like a thrift store within their company. So they say, you know what? If you're going to do something, just
Right, and that's what Habitat for
Recycle.
Humanity is all about, where if you have a product that's still good and you don't want to throw it away, give it to Habitat and they'd be happy to find a home for that product. Could be paint, could be clothing, it could be furniture, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
If it's good, can be repurposed to somebody.
repurposed, because once you start recycling an existing product, Dr. Geyer said, you're burning energy to bring it to something else, to make it something else. So you're actually affecting the environment further by doing so. But if you reuse something and find another purpose or upcycle something without using anything, and the labor, he says, is the best way to help the environment, what you're doing here, Fred, like people that are doing hairdressers, people that are doing shoemakers, that people that they're helping the environment because they're not emitting any gases or any pollutants because it's labor. In closing, I want Fred to give us a short tip for our listeners to use on their recycling, to help them recycle and to be better citizens.
The only tip I say that participate. Do not be a reason or a cause to have somebody else clean up after you.
Yeah. That's a good
That's
one.
it. If you turn around and you be responsible for your own your material, then everything will be, just do the right thing.
Yeah, and my tip in closing would be make sure you wash, because I'm after all in the cleaning business, to wash all the material that before you bring it for recycling, because people are not responsible for your contaminated food or anything else that you're going to bring to the facility, to any facility. We came to the end of the show, working on more at Keep It Clean, like tips and tricks to get you started with clutter and cleaning, how to make every day an Earth Day, how to clean less, my very own 7 in 7, and my quick tip for today and every day, shoes off at the door. Bye for now. Oppa.
At Keep It Clean for Happier You, we'd love to hear from you. For your comments and questions, use contact form at dirtdirtgoaway.com or text Nikki, text only, at 203-581-3446. That's 203-581-3446. We will be here every Saturday. Tune in to Keep It Clean for Happier You podcast. You can live stream online at radio1400.am every Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. and listen anytime at dirtdirtgoaway.com.